All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome once again to the Enhanced Sports Show. My name is Lou Tenor. It's a it's a better day than it was yesterday here in the New York, New Jersey area. Thank goodness. Ugh, what a mess. The number to call, by the way, is 512-543-4662. I repeat, 512-543-4662. And we'll be here just before 6 o'clock when Rizal McGee takes over his fine program. Don't forget, you can also check us on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, type in the Enhanced Sports Show, and you'll see the show in its entirety. All right, got a lot to cover, so I'm gonna bring everybody in right now. Some of you will be joining in later, particularly Steve and Mike. I'm sure they'll be along in a little while. So right now, I'll just bring on Steve Davidson, or who is? Are you there, Washington? Switch to another number, huh, Steve? Okay, we'll switch a route. All right, Jimmy, right? Jimmy, he's here. He's here. All right. Well, then let's get this party started. Okay. Okay. So let me just get this off here. All right. So we're gonna start off with the baseball playoffs with their situation, as the matchups uh, are not officially yet. But here's how the season would look. The matchups would look if they started today. There might be a quiz in this later. So the first round, of course, is the wild card, which is the best of three format, not best of five, a best of three, and all games are at the higher seed. Well, I only got three games there, so of course. So here's how the way it looks. We have the Astros taking on the Twins. The Astros are sixth, and the Twins are the third seed. Astros are sixth. Wow, I expected that before. And the Blue Jays are five, and the Rays are four. Now this is the American League only. The Orioles and Rangers have the 1 and 2 buys. Who'd have thought, right? I mean, Orioles and Rangers, I'm sorry, have the first round buys. I never would have expected the Astros to go to sixth and the Orioles to be in first. It wasn't that long ago, that the Orioles were, trash, losing 100 games in back-to-back seasons, and now all of a sudden they won the division. I can't put my finger on it, but it's just amazing what that team has done. It's like the team back in the 80s when they had Cal Ripken Jr., who was actually at Wednesday night's game. If you can believe that. So, good for them. Bad for us, as the Yankees have been eliminated. They were eliminated on Sunday when they lost at home. But they still have a chance at least a winning record, at least 500. They are not going to have a losing season, as they reached 81 wins back on Wednesday. So at least we're not going to be like, on the losing end, as we'll have our 33rd consecutive winning season. Sorry about that for some of you Yankee haters out there, but hey, they know how to turn it on the end. We had a strong September, to be honest with you, and that's what made up for it. So that's the good part of it. The thing is, though, I don't know if Aaron Boone will keep his job because it has been a disappointing season for the most part by Yankee standards, and I don't know how how Hal Steinbrenner is going to be able to take care of this. I mean, I don't know. Is he going to stay, or is Boone done as a manager, Jimmy, with the Yankees? Right. It could have been a lot worse, though, Jimmy. It could have been a lot worse. Let me ask. Let me ask Alan. Alan, does Aaron Boone stay on as Yankee manager? I didn't think. I thought. Yeah, I know we were speaking about that last night, but since you're on this show, I thought maybe you explain it to everybody else here. Thank you, boys to men. Okay. Well, it is hard to say about it. It is hard to say about it yesterday too. Oh, okay. Can we add that out, please? Oh, no. Yeah. Steve, your thoughts on the Yankees and maybe the dismissal of Boone? Uh-oh. I don't think so. No. Well, look, I mean, at least they came up with the winning season. So that's something to be thankful for. So Astros and Twins, Blue Jays and Rays are the wild card. Okay. Now for the National wild card series. Now remember, this is if it started today because we still got one game to play or two. The NL wild card series has the Marlins at 6 and the Brewers at 3, the D-backs at 5, and the Phillies fourth. Braves and Dodgers have buys. Oh, all right. Let me ask, Steve, who do you like in this first series? The Astros and the Twins. Who do you like in this series? Alan, Jimmy, Jimmy. Yeah, I think the dynasty of the Astros is over. I'm gonna go with the Twins on this one. Okay, the Blue Jays versus the Rays. The Rays are at home. Steve, what do you think of this series? And the Goofy Blue Jays. Uh, Alan, good, good. And Jimmy, unanimous. Making unanimous. Rays it is. It was a close race, in that division. But ultimately, Baltimore won it out. I really thought the Rays were going to take it, especially after that hot start they had at the beginning of the season when they won 13 in a row. But as the old saying goes, or to put in the words of blood, sweat, and tears, what goes up must come down. Oh, everybody, it will. Chorus, forget it. All right, next. All right, so as I just mentioned with the NL Wild Card Series, Steve, who do you like between the Brewers and the Fish? I mean the Marlins. All right, Alan. Alan, are you there? Ugh. All right, Jimmy. Even without, even with the not the home advantage. All right, okay, all right. I'll give you that. I'm gonna. Well, I hate to go against you, but I'm gonna go with the Phillies. I mean, look, I think last year, they got in barely and they look expected. This year, they look a much better, improved team, and I think they got what it takes to make it past the D-backs. So I really don't see Phillies going down very, very quickly. I mean, they made it to the World Series last year. They lost, but at least they made it, and nobody expected it. So I'm expecting them, uh, well, to get to the at least the maybe the on second thought with the making the division series, but it's gonna be tough going against who's gonna play in the Braves and Dodgers because that I think is gonna be an NLCS matchup. But why get ahead of myself? Anyway, the Braves and Dodgers, of course, have the buys, and the AL Division Series is a best of 5 that starts next week. Actually, wow! It's either the Rays and Blue Jays at the Oilers and the Twins and Rangers at the Astros. But I'll take those predictions on that next week. So just keep your thoughts for this one. And the NL, the Phillies, Diamondbacks, the Braves, and the Brewers, Marlins. Winner of that will face the Dodgers. Oh boy, that's going to be tough. So don't give me your decisions on that right now, guys. Just concentrate on the wildcard series now. And next week we'll do the division series matchups. Okay? Because if I come off prematurely, oh, that's going to look really bad. That look really awful. All right. So, hey, has anybody been following the Ryder Cup lately? Well, no, they don't. Especially day one. In day one, the European squad swept the U.S. on four alternate shot matches to go 4-0 for the first time in the tournament's history. Sad enough as it is, it was a complete disaster for the U.S. as Europe dominated right from the start, trying to reclaim the trophy after falling 19-9 in the 2021 tournament, which was here in the States. The U.S. did not hold a lead in any of the four morning matches on Friday. Kind of shocking. This was the fourth time in record history that the European went unbeaten in a session. Wait, this is the first time in record history. It was the fourth time in record history that the European went unbeaten in a session. It's the first time since 2006 that the Europeans had a lead after the first session. Europe won the cup stage 18.5, 9.5 over the U.S. We're off to a great start, said Shane Lowry of Ireland, but we need to keep the momentum going. We are very happy with our start right now, but yet there's still a lot of golf to play. We talked about getting a fast start, and we have. Though the U.S. dominates the tournament on the U.S. side of it, they have not won the cup outside the U.S. in 30 years. So the road has not been very kind to us. But there's more. Because at the second round today, just a second here. At the second round, it started off even worse to begin with in the morning session as Europe stretched the lead to 7 points over the U.S. Sky Scheffler, the world number one ranked player, not very happy as he was in disbelief after the second round. Scheffler and teammate Brooks Koepka, oh boy, Koepka, here we go. A five-time major champion suffered the worst 18-hole defeat in Ryder Cup history to Norway's Victor Hovland and Sweden's Ludwig Aberg. Hovland's a pretty good golfer. I know that. Moving along, the Americans were trying how this weekend is going from bad to worse. Oh boy. The score of the Americans' first loss today was so stunning that Justin Thomas was on the TV screen walking down the fairway and told his caddy Jim McKay 9-7, 7-9. Wait, 9-7 and 9-7. Oh boy. The Americans trailed the Europeans by 9.5 to 2.5 with the four best ball matches to be played today and 12 singles matches tomorrow. The Americans' 7-point deficit matches the worst performance after 3 sessions in a 5-session tournament. The U.S. squads led 7 after 3 during the Ryder Cup in the 1967 and 75 tournaments. After failing to win a match yesterday and trailed by 6.5 to 1.5, the U.S. won their foursome alternate shot this morning. So not a total loss. Open champion Brian Harman and Max Homa delivered the squad's first full point with a 4-2 victory over Shane Lowry and Shep Sarka. So it's not bad. And there's a little bit more encouraging news about that as well. As Patrick Cantlay, 3-1 4-ball gives them some life. The U.S. still trails European by 10.5 to 5.5 and needs a huge comeback to pull off the win. But after an unforgivable start to the tournament, this gives the U.S. the momentum it so badly needs. Cantlay was 5th ranked, made a 43rd put for birdie on the 18th hole to beat Roy McIlroy and Michael Fitzpatrick. One up in the final match play. Cantlay and U.S. Open winner Wyndham Clark were down 1 with 3 holes to play. Cantlay made a 10-foot shot birdie to Max birdie, that is McIlroy, on the 16th, and sank a 10-foot putter to tie the match at par 3 on the 17th hole. After the U.S. fell by 7 points behind, the British press said the U.S. was flawed. Okay, they accused Cantlay of leading the charge over players not being paid for competing in the Ryder Cup. And it said he was not wearing a team-issued hat in protest. Once the report came through on social media, many of the Euro fans greeted Cantlay on every hole, waving their hats. Cantlay denied the reports, as well he should. The He said the Ryder Cup is not about being paid. Kenley said it's. He said he did not wear a hat because it did not fit. And that was the same reason why he did not wear one in 2019. So, well, Jimmy, you seem to be the golf expert in the group here. So, what are your thoughts on the first 2 days of Ryder Cup and what the British press was saying about Patrick Cantley, that is? Oh, that's well. Well, the thing is, I think what you meant was that it's about playing for pride, and it is pride. That's exactly what it is, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're playing for your country and what you're representing. Well, actually representing, I think, North America, and it's good to represent your team's um, flags and country and whatever. I think Diane is here. She's here. Yeah. All right, Diane. We were discussing the Ryder Cup. I'll get to you in a minute about that. So yeah, Jim, because pride is more important than just playing for a title. I mean, when you're doing the normal PGA or the other golf league, you're playing against each other, trying to win trophies and that big money and whatnot. Here is just for pride, and you're showing your country that you can compete with everybody else, and I think that's more important. This is a special tournament, so I have to give you on that. Alan, your thoughts on the Ryder Cup? Yeah. Well, I don't know if they call it fun. Well, I don't know if they play for fun, but I get it. Steve? All right, Diane, I don't know about you about following the Ryder Cup, but do you have any thoughts at all? It is. It represents the U.S. versus Europe, as opposed to the President's Cup, where it's U.S. versus everybody else in the world except Europe, which is a large portion. Yeah, yeah. Hey, is Mikey gonna be on his way? Okay. I hope he's gonna join in. All right. Okay. All right. So, let me get back to you, Di. We got the division series coming up in baseball next week. The wild card series, that is. So I'll read the notes again because it's going to be by Tuesday. So we're gonna be taking bets on that. Well, not bets on them, but you get the idea. All right, 2023 postseason schedule. All right, here we go. This is for Diane only. You guys already got your picks in. All right. So anyway, the Atlanta Braves clinched the National League East. The Dodgers won the West. Brewers won the Central and will play in the wild card. Philly will play in the wild card as they clinch second in the East. So, Di, who do you like between the Phillies and the Brewers? All right. In the American League, the Orioles won the East. The Brewers won the Central in the NL. The Twins won the American League Central as they were the only team above 500 in the whole division. Yuck. And the Rays took second and will play in the wild card round. All right, so that's how that works. So but we took our predictions earlier, and that's how we'll see it. And then next week we're going to do the division series. All right, just to give you a heads up on that. All right, so it's Okay. Uh, well, Jimmy, they're gonna need a big comeback to win tomorrow. All right. So free agent Josh Primo, free agent guard that is, signed a two-way deal with the LA Cut-Ups. Diving Clippers told ESPN yesterday. Sorry, I had to do that. Primo was facing a four-game suspension after the league investigation found that he had exposed himself to women when he was with the Spurs. The league announced the discipline yesterday. I think we found our idiot of the week, first of all. Oh boy. Primo was engaged, yes, maybe the entire month. Primo was engaged in ongoing therapy in Los Angeles, according to sources. Primo underwent an evaluation with specialists who consulted with the Clippers, and the organization became comfortable giving him a return to the league. Primo, who was selected 12th in the 2021 draft, was waived in late October of last season after multiple incidents of you know what. After the release of Spurs, After the release of the Spurs, Primo told ESPN that he was struggling with his mental health and needed help. Yeah, I would say that you would need help after doing something stupid as that. I mean, really, exposing yourself to women. What? Where there you have no. Yeah, go ahead, Di. Yeah, but still, what kind of a person would do that? Exposing himself just like that. I mean, that is so weird. Hold on, Steve. Hold on, Steve. Go ahead. You can say that again. What a joke. Yeah, I mean, people do too many things to mention. We'll get to that in a little bit. We'll 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 get to that in a little bit. Yeah, I mean that has got to be exposing yourself in front of women, and for what? And now you get yourself in trouble, and you got kicked off the team, and now you found something else. Who's to say he's not going to do these incidents again? I mean, yeah, but well, no, actually, no, Di, because sometimes when people get help, they seem to go back to it again because some people just don't learn their lesson. So I do wish him the best, but who's to say he's not going to do it again? I mean, NFL players, they say, "Oh, I'm going to get off drugs. I'm going to stop doing this," but in a few months they go back and doing it anyway and get in more trouble. Yeah, right. We'll get to that in a little bit. Alan, your thoughts? Yeah, in a big way, in front of a lot of people. Jimmy, your thoughts? For any kind of team, indeed. Yes, the thing some people will do. Hey, you know what? Before I do anything else, I didn't get a chance for Steve and Diane to do their stories last week. So, Steve, go on with your wrestling and UFC report, then Diane, you can do your trivia. I apologize for last week. Keep it under 5 minutes, guys. Oh, this time. I like that. Going to oh, Right. Oh yeah, yeah. Hold it, Steve. Well, hold it, Steve. You forgot one. You forgot because I just found this out a little while ago. This is for upcoming an upcoming bout as two fights for UFC have been set for the end of the year. UFC pay per view. Leon Edwards will defend his welterweight title against Colby Covington in the main event UFC 296 on December 16th in Vegas. Dana White made the announcement on social media um, a week ago. In the other main event, lightweight champion Alexandre Panjara will face Brandon Royal. That's with two Y's. ESPN has Edwards as the fourth in the pound for pound rankings at the welterweight division. Edwards is currently ranked number one overall, while Covington is not currently ranked due to being inactive. Edwards is 21-3-1, coming off back-to-back wins off former champion Kamaru Usman, the most recent by majority decision at UFC 286 back in March. That's a long time ago. Edwards has gone unbeaten in his last 12 fights. He beat Usman with a fifth round knockout at UFC 278 in August of 2022 to win the belt. Covington, though 17-3, has not fought since a unanimous decision over Jorge Masvidal in March of 2022. He has just two losses in his last 11 fights, but both title fights against Usman is a former interim UFC welterweight champion. All right. Any thoughts on that, Steve? Yes. Right. Yeah. All right. All right, Diane. Okay, your turn. Go ahead, Di. Di, go ahead. Hello? Okay, Diane, you're up. You're up. Okay, go to it. I think it's the Warren, no, the Warren Trophy. Yeah, Warren Giles, the Warren G Trophy. Warren G Trophy. Yes, me or hmm, Giants. 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 Yeah, they said Giants too. I said Giants too. Ernie Banks. Ernie Banks. Yeah. Okay, now we got to go to something that's kind of, well, kind of I think we expected to hear, but I don't know how some fans are going to take this. Joe Namath knows what it means to win with the New York Jets, right? Right. The Hall of Fame quarterback says that the current quarterback Zach Wilson is not the answer to the franchise problems as he spent more than a decade with. I've seen enough of Zach Wilson, said Namath on Monday on ESPN Radio, aka the Michael K. Show. After the Jets lost to the Patriots, 15-10 at home, he said, "I've I've seen enough. He has quick feet. He can throw a little bit, but I don't believe what's going on up there." Namath, who captured the Jets' only Super Bowl victory to cap off the 1968 season, says he is jaded by head coach Robert Saleh's continued belief in the third-year quarterback. Saleh expressed confidence in Wilson's multiple times after four-time MVP Aaron Rodgers was lost for the season after he tore his Achilles in Week 1. Wait, it gets worse. The Super Bowl three-time MVP suggested that Wilson should spend time as a backup, learning the game, and was not worthy of being the number 2 overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. No kidding. After the sack against the Patriots, we fell without being touched. Now, first of all, how do you fall without being touched? I mean, really, that has got to be like a stupid stunt right there. I mean, you weren't even getting any effort. You weren't even hurt to begin with, and you fell down. I mean, I think Namath was right about that. You know, it's like you weren't even trying. I'm saying, he goes on to say, "I'm saying I don't believe him," David said. "I don't believe he has a future as a good player. I think they made a wrong choice when they drafted him. I feel that way. He has some athletic ability, but you've got to have something up here that's going on whatever you're studying, reading, playing out there, etc., etc." Namath also called out offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett before the season started. The assistant coach was criticized by Denver Broncos head coach Sean Payton for his one-season performance in the same role. How many months ago was it to learn the offense? How many months was that? Now, Aaron, he got hurt. Okay, why do you think we have backup? What do you think we have backups for? Thank you, Gerald. They're ready to go, Nathan said. They're supposed to be ready to go. We're looking at offense that just doesn't play well. You've got to have an offensive coordinator that doesn't seem to be calling the right plays. I just think for this fan, they need to make major changes from top to bottom. Ain't that the truth? He said top to bottom will include firing Saleh. The third-year coach has emphasized the strength in team culture despite starting 1-2 and only scoring 10 points in each loss. Ugh. How can you say the locker room is together? David said. Continued, how many teams have we been on? You're telling me there aren't calls on the defensive side saying, "Whoa, man, what's wrong with you?" They're not all harmony in the locker room. And if they are, they need to get rid of people. You got to get rid of people in there that are competitors and want to fight to win. I happen to agree with that because, the way he performed last week was just awful. And falling down when you weren't even hurt, I mean, that's a sign right there that you weren't even giving it your all out there. You weren't hurt to begin with, and you pull a stunt like that. Not to say I don't think some people have done that before, but, to pull up something like that, it's just completely stupid. And, you cost the team the game, first of all. And Namath happens to be right. I don't see him becoming a good quarterback at all. It's just embarrassing for the Jets team, Jets franchise. And if they keep him in, I don't see him having a good season at all. They should have went with Mike Boyle as second instead of Zach. Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. I don't think Wilson should be on the team at all. Yeah. Oh, and Deshaun Watson, he's questionable with a shoulder injury against the Ravens tomorrow. He suffered the injury to his right shoulder as he ran the ball in last Sunday's matchup against the Titans. Although Watson was limited to practice all week, head coach Kevin Stefanski said after yesterday's practice that he is hopeful that Watson can still play. I doubt it. Watson hardly threw in the open media portion of yesterday's practice session, but Stefanski said he did throw later on in yesterday's session. If Watson is not able to start, the Browns will go with Dorian Thompson Robertson, a fifth-round pick from UCLA, who became the backup during the preseason as the Browns traded Joshua Dobbs to the Cardinals. Last week, Watson completed 23 of 27 passes for 23 of 27 plays for 287 passes and 2 touchdowns in their win over the Titans. Any thoughts on that? Jimmy? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Right. So, and Aaron Rodgers is expected to be at the game tomorrow. No, not playing, but maybe trying to help, you know, with Wilson out. Although I don't know what he can do. Yeah, but I doubt. Very nice. You look nice. The third quarter. How about like the second quarter? How about like the second quarter, man? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think there's, um, I think they're trying to go with someone else for the backup role for that, but whoever they get, it doesn't look very. Oh yeah, Trevor Simeon was signed to the practice squad pending a physical, but that's not going to make things any better because Simeon is even worse. Simeon's even worse than that. I mean, as a starter, he has 13, 17, and 42 touchdowns, but he also has 20 interceptions. And how do you expect him to be better than Wilson? That's not getting any better. That makes it even worse. Wilson. I think you're right, Di. I mean, you're gonna go with that clown. Ugh. I think Rogers here. Yeah, Roger. What do you make of Namath's comments about Zach Wilson and how much he's been a disappointment to the team? My sense exactly. Yes. Uh, yes. So anyway, the Jets are one. Yeah, they are looking for someone that I mean they did sign. Like I said, they did sign Simeon to the practice squad. Tim Boyle's in the quarterback room. I think they should go with Tim Boyle instead. And there's also talk of maybe they want to sign Colin Kaepernick. No, that's not going to happen. Hold on, Mike is here. Yes, Mike, are you coming on? Thank you. All right, Mikey's on his way in. Good, good. Sorry about that, folks. So I don't think Simeon, is your guy either. You gotta go. Kaepernick, no, he's been out for 7 years, and he doesn't really want to. His heart's not even in playing. I mean, if he does come and whoever takes him, it's just gonna cause more controversy anyway. So signing him would be a big mistake. I wouldn't want him out. Thanks, Mike. So, so Mike, so Mike, what do you make of Namath's comments about Zach Wilson? Yeah, because Namath is not pleased with Wilson's performance, and neither are a lot of Jet fans either. Well, there were high hopes on them, making the playoffs, at least getting to the wild card of the division round. But so far, they are far from that. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Yeah. And your Giants are going to be shorthanded tomorrow too, Monday rather, as left tackle Andrew Thomas is ruled out with a hamstring, and Saquon Barkley, he's still dealing with his high ankle sprain, but that's a game time decision. And he hasn't. They haven't. Uh, Thomas will miss his third game, and Barkley, well, he's been limited in practice all week. There's no word on if he'll play or not, and they have the replacements for them as they play for Thomas and Barkley as they play the Seahawks on Monday. Uh, this doesn't look too good for your Giants Monday night, does it, Mike? Whoa, you're going back away with that, aren't you? Wow. Can't forget Joe. Why do you think they dumped him? No, he's not. I can vouch for that. Ah, yeah, well, all right. Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts confirmed they played through flu symptoms as they beat the Bucks last this past week. Just as exciting, Hurts said describing it looks to gut it out. It's not the first time that I had dealt with this. I had to I had to play something like this, and it always happens during a Monday night game. Hmm. Always happened during a Monday night game. I didn't think of that. He is not alone. Center Jason Kelsey, that name should sound familiar to some of you, uh, said there were several Eagles players who did not feel well. Yep, and did not feel well despite winning last this past week. It feels like everyone else in the world is right now. It's kind of wrapping up again, and it's going to be that time of year, of course. Despite the bug going around, the Eagles' offense did put up 472 yards by running back DeAndre Swift with 130 yards and wide receiver AJ Brown with 9 catches for 131 yards. Hurts had been up and down night throwing and rushing for a touchdown while also throwing a few interceptions, but was dazzling by some of his throws. Hurts was 23 for 32 for 258 yards with a touchdown and an interception that night. Sometimes you got to play through the pain, though, even though you don't feel well. But it paid out in the end. Right, guys? Yes, yes. Okay, turning on to baseball now. Phillies first baseman Ryan Rias Hoskins remains a long shot to make the postseason roster and recovers from a torn ACL in his left knee. Now, I think that might hurt the Phillies a little bit, but I think they can make it through at least, getting to the wild card round and making the division series. An encouraging sign is he's hitting home runs in batting practice and hitting 75 to 80 pitches a day, set by manager Rob Thompson. He said that the slugger will not be cleared ahead of the World Series if he gets cleared at all, and should they even make it. The Phillies did clinch a wild card spot as they beat the Pirates back on Wednesday. So at least they made it. Last season, Hoskins hit 30 home runs and 79 RBIs. He was injured in spring training as he's fielding a ground ball. Oh boy, what a way to get injured, folks. Yeah. So it's a long shot. I don't think he's going to make it. I mean, that's just too painful, I think. Yeah, I don't see making it. Okay, well, all good things come to an end, and for Adam Wainwright, the Cardinals pitcher, it is coming to an end. He won his 200th game 10 days ago, 3 days ago, I should say, and has thrown his last pitch. He says he has no regrets of anything he ever did, no second thoughts of coming back. He says he made the right decision on pitching or retiring. He says he's at peace with all of it. He's a three-time All-Star, pitched all 18 seasons with the Cardinals, who won the 2006 World Series in his second year. He threw 7 innings and gave up 4 hits in his final start on September 18th with a 1-0 victory over the Brewers. It was the longest outing of the season unfortunately, his record this season wasn't so good. 5-11 with an ERA of 7.40. Well, that's awful. He recorded his final out on a curveball to former Yankee Josh Donaldson, who flied out. Wainwright went on the injured list with a groin injury in March and a shoulder injury in July, a shoulder strain, that is. He made 21 starts, throwing in 101 innings and 55 strikeouts. Manager Oliver Marmol said the Cardinals series against in San Diego last weekend, he played catch, and the reality is there was no way he was able to keep going and throw another inning. To walk off the field the way he did at home, ending on a curveball, fans went wild and gave an ovation after he came out. And there is no better way to go out, that's said by Marmol. And I happen to agree. You struck him out, and that's how you end your career. That's the way to go out. He was a great pitcher. Okay, he didn't hit 300 wins as a pitcher, but still very respectable. And he will be missed. What do you think? Hall of Fame material for Wainwright or no? Steve, what do you think? Roger? Mike? Well, he's done this year. Diane, Hall of Fame worthy or not? How about you, Di? Hall of Famer or no? Uh, it's kind of hard to tell. Uh, Jimmy, Hall of Famer or no? Well, that was only this year, Jimmy. That was only this year. Well, okay, I'll give you this. I'll give you. I don't think he'll make it. I think he is a Hall of Famer, but first ballot, no, no. He's going to have a long wait, I think. But I do think he will make it. Later down the road. Not on his first try, though. I mean, look, he's no Mariano Rivera. I'll give you that right now. Definitely not Mariano Rivera. Maybe on his third or fourth try, yes, but first ballot Hall of Famer, no. All right. Oh, Steve, I got another idiot for you. For the Raiders, defensive end Chandler Jones. He was arrested in he he was arrested in Vegas. You did say Chandler Jones? Okay, but let me go further. He was arrested. He was listed as an inmate at the Clark County Detention Center as of late yesterday morning. He allegedly violated the domestic violence policy, temporary protective order, and was held on $15,000 bail, according to jail records. Jones did post bond later that day and is due back in court on December 4th, according to court records. The Raiders released a statement saying, we are hopeful that Jones receives the care that he needs. He and his family and those involved. And our thoughts. The Raiders noted that they will not comment on the situation any further as it becomes a legal matter. So yeah, that's another idiot. That's another idiot right there. Oh, there is one thing I did want to mention, but I think maybe you might be handling this one better, Steve. Um, you're kind of like an Orioles fan, right? Sort of. Well, we lost one of the greats this past week. Third baseman, I should say, former third baseman and Hall of Famer Brooks Robertson. Robinson, yes, um, yes. He joined the organization in 1955 and continues to leave a long-lasting impact on the club. The Orioles held a moment of silence for him against the Nationals. Uh, teams lined up, and the teams lined up outside the dugouts to pay respects. Hold on. Also, after the game, also before the game, fans gathered around the 9-foot bronze statue of Robertson inside Camden Yards. It's not saying where he what he passed away from. Do you have any idea though, Steve, where he passed away from? Okay. Yeah. No, no. I think it's gonna be a good omen. Greg's here. Greg. All right. Yeah. All right. I asked this question earlier, Greg, but I want to know your thoughts on the Ryder Cup with how the U.S. is trying to come back. Yeah, I know. Right. Right. Yeah. 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 Right. Bones. Yeah. 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 Hey, look. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Alex is here. Shuffler. Yeah. Right. Okay. Okay, we gotta keep moving along, guys. All right, Alex is here. Alex, we're discussing actually former third baseman for the Orioles, Brooks Robinson, who just passed away. We're just going over his career. 1970, he helped Baltimore defeat the Reds in the 1970 World Series and homered in Game One against of the Orioles in 1966 and sweep the Dodgers for their first World Series. Wow. He participated in 18 All Star games, earned the 1964 AL Most Valuable Player Award, batting 318 with 28 home runs and a league leading 118 RBIs. He finished his career with 268 home runs, 1,357 RBIs, and a respectable 267 batting average in 2,896 career games. Wow, that's quite. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Right. He is. He is. Yes, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Yeah. Yes. Right. Yeah. Yes. Right. Okay. Remember, guys, 5 minute rule here. Okay. Uh, Gerald, hey. Okay. The LA Lakers. Okay. Who's got a problem here? Hold on. I got to do something here. I think I know who it is. No. All right. Okay. Is everything okay? Oh, Joe, is everything okay? Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. That's fine. All right. Mets outfielder Starling Marte has been on the 10-year list since August with a groin strain. Is done for the year, said by manager Buck Showalter. Well, it doesn't really matter because their season's done anyway. He was scheduled to play a simulated game back on Wednesday, but that was canceled due to rain. The two-time All-Star and Gold Glove winner finished the season with 5 home runs, 20 RBIs, 24 stolen bases in 86 games. He has 2 years left in his deal, worth 78 million that he signed in December 2021. By the way, I thought it was kind of stupid that they had to suspend the game in the ninth inning in Thursday night's game, Wednesday's game, whatever it was. I mean, in the ninth inning, I mean, you were losing. Well, actually, it was yesterday's game. I'm sorry, but and that happened. Why would you do that? I mean, and you wind up losing the game anyway. So why would you spend in the ninth inning? I mean, you played all through that, and then you decide to spend it in the last inning. Can somebody answer me that? Yeah, Alex, is everything okay? Alex, I hear something in your end. I think that explains it. Okay, I explained it. Okay, I kind of thought it was a traffic jam. Then again, that's Connecticut for you. That's the New York Jersey area for you folks. It's always rush hour. Aha. All right. Yeah. That makes it even worse with the traffic. Okay. The Brewers clinched the NL Central for the third time in 6 years, despite losing to the Cardinals, but got help from the Braves as they beat the Cubs. The Brewers clinched the second division crown as the Braves came from behind to beat the Cubs on Tuesday. The Brewers crowd roared in the ninth inning of the Cubs Braves game that showed up on the video board. You could see something, you could sense something was going on in the stands, said manager Craig Counsell. Then I turned down behind me and looked for some of the clubhouse guys. They were scurrying way too fast for us losing 4-1, so I knew something was going on. The division title did not come without drama, as the Braves had to come back from 6 runs down to beat the Cubs, who are now out of the wild card competition. The winning run came in the bottom of the eighth on a fielding error by Seiya Suzuki after Braves catcher Sean Murphy hit a fly ball to right field. Suzuki called off center fielder Cody Bellinger, but lost the ball in the sunlight and dropped it. Oh boy. So to put it more plainly, he was blinded by the light. Oh no. Okay. I was seeing that to the very last second. Suzuki said after the game, I thought the ball was in my glove. So it was a split second where my vision was blurry and so forth. Drew Smyly aided the comeback by throwing 2 wild pitches in the eighth inning. Matt Olson set the stage for pitch runner Forrest Wall. Both runners easily scored on the error by Suzuki, and the Brewers clinched. Yeah, and I think deserved well too. Your point is, by the way, Steve, 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 that's a different Cardinal. Steve, that's a different Cardinals. Yeah, but Steve, yeah, right. But Steve, that's a different Cardinals, right? But that was a different Cardinals. That's baseball, not football. Okay, so why don't we go to our college and pro football picks right now before we run out of time? Okay, for next week's games. Okay, let me go to the schedule here. Right, here we go. So we'll start with we'll. Oh, there's Wednesday matchups too. Wow. All right, nobody playing him. Nobody in the top 25 from Wednesday to Friday. So we'll start with Saturday. All right, here we go. Number 3, Texas versus number 14, Oklahoma. Oh, Gerald. See why I went to him first, guys? Okay, Steve. All right. Come on, be nice. Mike, Alex, Jimmy, Roger, Diane. I'm going with Texas. Okay. Ooh. All right. Number 4, Ohio. Number 4, the Ohio State versus Maryland. Steve. Yeah. All right, Mike. Ohio State, that is. All right. Jimmy, Diane, Roger, Mike. You want Ohio State? Okay, Alex, Gerald. Buckeyes, it is. Okay. Ooh, good matchup here, guys. Number 13, LSU versus number 23, Missouri, or Missouri, as some people call it, or Missouri, as some other people call it. Okay, Steve, what do you got? Mike, Jimmy, Diane, Roger, Alex, nice second, Gerald. I think Missouri might have some here, so I might take that. I think Steve might be right. Okay, moving along. Okay, this looks more interesting than most people think it's going to be, so we'll give this a shot here. Number 16, Washington State versus UCLA. All right, Steve, Mike, Jimmy, Diane, Roger, Alex, Gerald. You, no, they're favorite actually. I'm gonna go with UCLA. Actually, I think I see something brewing here. Okay, moving along. Okay, number 5, Florida State versus Virginia Tech. Steve, Mike, Jimmy, Diane, Roger, Alex, Gerald. All right, I'll buy that too. Florida State it is. All right. Uh, Alabama versus Texas A&M. Alabama's 12th ranked. Steve, we'll see about that. Mike, Jimmy, Roger, Diane, Alex. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gerald, I'm going Texas A&M too. Go Aggies. All right, number 15, North Carolina versus Syracuse. Steve, Mike. Okay, Diane. Roger, Jimmy, Alex, and Gerald. Okay, good, good. I'm going North Carolina too. Uh, Okay, before we get to another top 25 matchup, just for the home crowd here, Rutgers, Wisconsin. Okay, Mike, Jimmy, Diane, Roger. So am I. Anybody else taking Rutgers? I should include you. Steve, make it unanimous. Okay, I like it. I like it. By the way, they're creaming Wagner now 24-3, and it's only the half. I like it. I like it. Okay, the Gators of Florida versus Vanderbilt. Oh my goodness. Steve, yuck. Mike, Mike, yeah. Okay. Uh-oh. All right. Okay, we're okay. Jimmy, Alex, Roger, Diane, Gerald. Oh boy. I'm going Florida. Vanderbilt is a terrible football team. Ugh. Yes. Okay, okay, fine. Kansas versus off football. This is awful. Okay, Kansas, Central Florida. Steve, Kansas. Okay. Mike, Diane, Roger, Jimmy, Alex, Gerald. I'm going Kansas too. Yeah, take Toto with you. Oh, you see what I do with this show, guy? You see what I put with on this show, guys? Okay. Wow, wow. Okay. Moving on, moving on. Okay. Ooh, good SEC battle here, guys. Listen to this one. Number one, Georgia versus Kentucky. Steve. Whoa. All right. Mike, Jimmy, Roger, Diane, Alex, Gerald. Yep, Georgia it is. Okay. Notre Dame versus Louisville. Steve. Notre Dame. Oh wait, I missed one. I'm sorry, I missed one. Michigan versus Minnesota. Okay, take that one, Steve. Minnesota. All right, Mike, Jimmy, Roger, Alex, Diane, Gerald. Michigan it is. Okay, number 11, Notre Dame, Louisville. Mike, Jimmy. No, we're doing Notre Dame and Louisville now. All right, all right, Jimmy. All right, Roger, Diane, Alex, Gerald. Fighting Irish it is. Old Mississippi versus Arkansas. Steve. Okay. Duh. Okay, yeah. Mike, Jimmy, Roger. Okay, Diane, Alex. Gerald. I'm gonna go with Arkansas here. Miami versus Georgia Tech. Okay, that's easy. That's pretty good. Steve. Miami. Okay. Mike. Jimmy. Okay. Roger. Diane. Um, Gerald. Did I miss anybody? Okay. I'm taking Miami too. All right, moving along. Down the list we go. Oh, Fresno State, Wyoming. Steve. Okay. Diane. Mike. Jimmy. Roger. Alex. Yeah, well, it's Fresno State, but okay. And Gerald. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go with Fresno State. Oregon State, California. Steve. Mike. Jimmy. Roger. Diane. Alex. And Gerald. Leave it to Beaver. That's all I can say about that. And finally, in the top 25, USC versus Arizona. Steve. Mike. No, it's USC versus Arizona. Jimmy. Uh, Alex. Diane. Gerald. I'll go USC as well. Okay. I got everybody, right? Okay. All right. Okay, now NFL. Roger. Roger. He said USC. Okay. Okay. Who had Green Bay over Detroit? Because I had the Lions actually. I had the Lions. Who picked the Lions? Okay. I took the Lions. Okay. Okay. So ready for this week? All right. First up. First up. Falcons, Jacksonville. It's a 9:30 game. Steve. Mike. Jimmy. Diane. Roger. Alex. I'm going with the Falcons actually. Uh, okay. I'm good. Okay. All right. Tough one here. Dolphins, Bills, especially after the Dolphins put up 70 points last week. My goodness. Okay. Steve. Yeah. Steve, what's that racket on your end? Mm-hmm. All right, Diane. Gotta be official. Jimmy. Mike. Roger. Alex. Gerald. My thoughts exactly. Buffalo it is. Okay, Broncos, Bears. Steve. Anybody who's not saying, anybody who thinks it's going to be Denver, I'll say I. Aye. Aye. Okay. Thank you. All right. Okay. Oh boy, 3-2 gag. Next. Okay. Next. Ravens versus the Clowns. Browns. Steve. Thank you. Mike. Jimmy. Roger. Diane. Alex. Jimmy. Gerald. Same here. Ravens nevermore. Bengals. Titans. Steve. Mike. Roger. Diane. Jimmy. Alex. Gerald. I'm going Titans too. Bucks. Saints. Uh, Steve. Mike. All right. Jimmy. Yeah. Oops, I must. Right. Roger. Alex. Right. All right. Gerald. Diane. I'm going with the Saints. Oh, I forgot one. Rams. Colts. Steve. Mike. Roger. Jimmy. Diane. Steve. I'm sorry. Gerald. I'm going. I'm going Colts. Okay. Commanders. Eagles. Colts. Okay. Commanders. Eagles. Jimmy. Steve. Steve. Mike. All right. Roger. Diane. Alex. And Gerald. Yeah, I'll go Eagles too. These are the 1 o'clock games. Oh boy. Vikings. Panthers. Steve. Mike. Okay. Jimmy. Ro- Roger. Diane. Gerald. Okay. Okay. Anybody? Did I miss anybody? Okay. Okay. Raiders. Alex. Okay. Raiders. Chargers. Steve. Mike. Jimmy. Roger. Diane. Alex. Gerald. Yeah, I think I am too. All right. Patriots versus the Cowboys. Gerald. Steve. Mike. Diane. Oh boy. Roger. Okay. Jimmy, I got you, right? Okay. Cardinals, 49ers. Steve. All right. Mike. Okay. Jimmy. Roger. Diane. And Gerald. 49ers it is. Chiefs, Jets. Oh boy. All right. Let's get it over with. Mike. Mm. Diane. Diane. Um, Jimmy. Roger. Steve. And I'm going. I hate to go against my team, but I'm gonna have to go with Kansas City. Okay, Monday night. Right. Monday, Seahawks, Giants. A tough one here. Let me ask the local crew again. Mike, Jimmy, Diane, Roger, Steve, and Gerald. I gotta go with the Seahawks too. And for Thursday night, let's let me get that up here. Oh, right. All right, for Thursday night's game, which is on the 5th, Bears versus Commanders. Steve, Mike, Roger, Diane, Jimmy, and Gerald. Right. I'm gonna go with uh I'm gonna go with Washington. I never went with the Bears, so I don't know I'm gonna start now, so I'll just take them anyway. Ugly matchup. We all are. We all are. Okay. Okay. Astros reliever Hector Neurals shot at Julio Rodriguez after striking out the Marlins starting the 6th inning, causing both engines to clear out. Neurals started yelling at Rodriguez, who was angered by the actions of the pitcher. Neurals said after the game that both he and J Rod are friends and downplayed the incident. It's just part of the game, and it is emotional. Like the situation by Neurals back on Thursday said, but it's nothing personal. It's just to wake up the team, especially this time of year. Gerald, you might want to move that fan. Yeah, both players were teammates in for the Dominican Republic in the WBC and are represented by the same agency. You get the tense moments, especially on this time of year and whatnot. So it's understandable. I'm gonna bring him back. Yeah. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Bryce Young is back as a star for the Panthers as they face the Vikings tomorrow. Head coach Frank Reich said Wednesday that the top pick of the draft was trending towards a return from a right ankle injury that sidelined him in last week's loss to the Seattle Seahawks. There was no question after Wednesday's practice for a third straight day. I thought it was good, said Reich of Young this past week, probably even better than I expected. Bryce is our quarterback. Young, however, could be without lead rusher Miles Sanders as he was limited in practice for a third straight day with a groin injury as questionable for Sunday. Reich, however, said that he was optimistic for Sanders to play on Sunday. So I guess you can call it a case of good news and bad news. Okay. Okay. Got that fan problem taken care of, Gerald? Good. Yes. Yes, he does. Okay. It must be still hot out there, huh? All right. LeBron, who's going to play his 21st season of his career, involves talent and not cutting so much into his minutes. He does a great job taking care of himself, says Coach David Darvin Hamlin yesterday at a news conference. You can have next week's training camp. The team the team that is around him now with the pieces and place those guys around us are going to step up and do some heavy lifting early in the season. James averaged 35.5 minutes last season, down from last season, but still has played in his first three seasons with the Lakers, but still more than he played his first season with the Lakers. He still averages 28.9 points per game, shooting almost 50%, causing him with also 8.3 rebounds and 6.8 assists, but a torn tendon in his right foot caused him to miss 27 games last season. And although there's been a drop in his overall games since joining the Lakers, and there's been a drop in his overall games since joining the Lakers, his body has been traded many times. He missed 111 games due to injury the last 5 years after only missing 71 games in his previous 15. Well, age would be a factor too with that, you know. Lakers Vice President of Operations and General Manager Rob Pelinka praised LeBron for his offseason work ethic after their disappointing end to the postseason, which they were swept by the eventual champion Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. LeBron, who enters his 21st season, is playing more like a rookie as he hits the weight room early and has been in the building more than any other player. And any team that LeBron has played for has been a very uniform that his work sets the tone. Yeah, but how much longer does he think he can really get in him, guys? I mean, it's his 21st season now. So how much more has he got left in him? Not professionally. He's still an amateur. Yeah, yeah. Any other thoughts on LeBron? Uh huh. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't think he's done yet, Steve. I don't think he's done. But yeah. Oh, okay. I think he's gonna be one more year, but that's it. Yeah. Oh, I got some more baseball notes here. You might want to listen to this, guys. Okay, first up, the Atlanta Braves, were as hot as a pistol this season, clinched home field advantage out the playoffs after sweeping the Cubs and ensuing no team will reach more than 103 games this season, winning that is. The Orioles also could get 103 wins, but Atlanta on the tiebreaker after beating the Orioles in head-to-head matchups this season of 2-1. It's a it's huge, catcher said Travis Demont. Said after a sweep of the Cubs, our fan base is electric. This is a huge advantage for us. I've been on the other side where the fans get all over you and makes it a rough night's sleep and uncomfortable game. Once again, the Braves were powered by the long ball as first baseman Matt Olson smashed his 54th home run of the season and drove in 2 runs, bringing his total to 135 RBIs, surpassing Eddie Matthews, who drove 133 runs in 1953. 131 runs, I think. DeAndre the Arnold added that we were sitting at the bullpen saying Olson needs to do this in his first at bat, and he needed a 2-run homer to get over the wall and worked it out of the way. The organization has such a rich history for him to have the most RBIs and home runs, and speaking volumes this season he's having. Olson's home run was the 304th home run of the season, just 3 away from the all-time record which was set by the Twins with 307 in 2019. So the Braves will host the NLDS, the NLCS, and the World Series, providing they advance, which I don't think they have any problem to, unless the Dodgers have something to say about that. And the Orioles got their and the Orioles clinched their 100th win of the season a few days ago and won the AL division with a 2-0 victory over the Red Sox. Sorry, Anthony Santander hit a homer, and DJ Hall pitched out of a jam in the sixth inning to preserve the win. Dean Kremer, 13-5 in the year on the season, allowed 2 hits and a walk in the fifth. In the fifth, in 5.5 innings, and struck out 8. The Orioles won 100 games for the sixth time in their history and the first time since 1980. Wow. The Orioles. Exactly. And now look where they are right now. Unreal. It was a night of celebration at Camden Yards. The Orioles announced on the scoreboard of the third inning that they've reached an agreement with the state of Maryland, keeping the Orioles in Baltimore for at least the next 30 years. The lease of Camden Yards was expected to expire at the end of this season. During the seventh inning, the fans got another big surprise as they announced that Orioles legend Cal Ripken Jr. was in attendance, like I said before. This is the fifth division title in 6 years since division play began back in 1969, which was still the dinosaur era, but only the fifth division title for the Orioles since then. The Orioles are aiming for their first World Series title in 40 years. Rats a ruck. Okay, now for something completely different. Well, I think we shouldn't be surprised by this, but the XFL and the USFL are planning to merge. Oh, what a surprise. Not really. So anyway, yeah, exactly. But yeah, there'll be a bad league, period. So anyway, to go now, hold on. We'll see about this. Um, okay. So plans have not been, of course, official yet, but they are leaning towards it. But it is going to happen. I mean, I'm not really surprised by this, to be honest with you. I mean, both leagues are in shambles now, and it had to be done. So they plan to merge. The announcement was made. Huh, maybe in a joint statement, both leagues said the merger is subject to customary regular approvals. If the transaction is consummated, the new league will establish best in its class operations based on most recent seasons in both leagues. Yeah, right. To continue on with this charade, oh, the XFL is owned by Dwayne The Rock Johnson and his ex-wife Danny Garcia, while the USFL is owned by the Fox Corporation. Johnson and Garcia led the ownership group that purchased the XFL from former WWE chairman Vince McMahon, who owned the original version of the league in 2001 and folded after one season. The relaunch came in 2020 and was suspended after that season after you know what came aboard and ruined everything. Despite entering bankruptcy under McMahon, the league played the entire 2023 season under the ownership of Johnson and Garcia. The USFL ran for 3 seasons between 1983 and 1985 before relaunching last year, and I remember that as well. The XFL had 8 teams that stretched from Seattle to DC, and the USFL has also 8 teams that stretch from Memphis to New Jersey. All right, guys, what do we make of this comic tragedy in sports? Yet to be determined, Gerald. Yet to be determined. I'm thinking it's going to be the UXFL. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's going to be that. Anyone else have any thoughts on this? Yeah, yeah. I can just hear it now. Right. Yeah, that would. If you're going to have this merge, you better have it in the cities they play in. Otherwise, it will not work. No, 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 not at all. Not at all. Exactly. Dumb is right. No. Well, yeah. Well, that was still for pandemic conditions anyway, but we're past that now. So, maybe now they should focus on playing at their own stadiums. It makes a lot more sense. I mean, heck, the World League of American Football played in all their stadiums back in 1991. Would I say that out loud? Okay, never mind. Can we get this show, please? Okay. All right. So, anywho, Braves slugger Ronald Acuna Jr. continues to make history this year, and he stole second base in the 10th inning and game against the Cubs, and was his second of the night and his 70th stolen base of the year, and became the first player ever to hit 40 home runs and steal 70 bases in a season. Now, how about that? It came moments after teammate Ozzie Abeles, who drove him home. Who drove him home? I'll get to this later. Who drove him home for the winning run and clinched the number one seed overall in the NL League playoffs. Very happy, mostly, that we're able to win Acuna with the 6-5 victory. I am very happy to be the founding member of the 40-70 club. Acuna hit 41 home runs this season and also became the first player to hit the 40-60 club. He was only the second Braves player to have 70 steals in a season. Otis Nixon did that back in 1991 with 72. I remember that. The Braves erased 3 deficits against the Cubs, with Michael Ozuna tying the game in the 9th with a home run before Acuna singled home Kevin Pillar to tie the game at bottom of the 10th. Then the first pitch to Abeles, Acuna took off for second and slid safely head first. He acknowledged the crowd when he took the base off the ground and held it high his head before sending it back to the dugout. What a moment. Okay, now we're going to, yeah, yes. Okay, okay. Before I go to this week in history, guys, what was your best and worst moments of September? Best and worst moments of September. Anybody. Okay. All right, Mike. Nice, nice. Right. Diane, what about your worst moments, guys? What about the worst moments? Okay, Mike, can you get yours? Okay. Roger. Okay, Steve, Jimmy. Boy, boy, you guys are way off on my stuff. I wasn't thinking that at all. I was thinking completely different. The best moment I think had to be, you got to give it to the Joker who won the U.S. Open back the second week of September. That was a great tournament. I was watching with a few friends um, that night because I had some friends who are big tennis fans, and I think the worst moment. Does anybody remember a few weeks ago what happened with a TCU player who was shot for no reason at all by some moron? Yes. I mean, there's nothing worse than taking an innocent person's life, especially when you had no motive at all. I mean, there's nothing worse than that. That is just a senseless tragedy that never should have happened in the first place. And that is, I think, is the worst moment, of September. And I just hope we don't have any more of this. It's just a shame when it happens like this. Okay, so for this week in history, 1915, yeah, Red Sox clinched the AL pennant by beating the Tigers. Oh, great. 1916, the Giants lose 8 to the Giants lose to the Braves 8-3 and 26 consecutive win streak. Wow. 1922, Yankees clinch pennant number 2 by beating Boston 3-1. Too bad for Boston. 1927, Yankee slugger Babe Ruth smacks his MLB record 60th home run of the season off Tom Zachary in the 8th inning, 4-2 over the then Washington Senators. However, 1934, the results were not the same as he went over 3 in his final game as a Yankee in 1934. Ryder Cup in 1937, the U.S. Wins the first time. The U.S. first time hosts a team and loses the competition. 1939. What's going on? Okay, 1939. Chicago pitcher Clint Brown sets MLB record with his 61st relief appearance as the White Sox beat the St. Louis Browns. 1939. The first televised college football game, Fordham beat Waynesburg 34-7. Wow. Yeah, let me see here. Oh, 1947, the first televised World Series game as the Yankees beat the Dodgers 5-3 in Game 1. The largest World Series crowd to date at 73,365. Okay, continuing on. 1949, Ralph Kiner of the Pirates hits his 54th home run and National League record 16th in September. Phillies Robin Roberts gives up a Major League record 46th home run. Wow. 1956, White Sox Jim Derringer is the youngest to start a game, and he loses at just 16 years old. Wow. 1962. Uh-oh, here we go. Mike, I hate to do this. The Mets go on to lose their record 120th game as the Cubs turn a triple play and beat the Mets 5-1. Oh boy. And still holds the record for the worst season in baseball history. 1965, Don Drysdale of the Dodgers wins his 13th straight game with 7 by shutouts. Wow. 1971, last Washington Senators game. Yanks win career fifth forfeit game. Yankees train 42 in the ninth with 2 outs, and fans rush the field. Oh boy. 1972, Pirates right fielder Roberto Clemente doubles off Mets John Metallic to become the 11th Major League player to record 3,000 hits as the Pirates beat the Mets. 1973, New York Marathon. America Nia Kuslik retains her crown. 2 hours, 57 minutes, 7 seconds. Tom Fleming wins the men's at 2:21:54 seconds. 1973, Yankees close 50 years at Yankee Stadium with an 8-5 loss to the Tigers, and was rebuilt in 1976 with close renovations. 1978, Cleveland, Houston, New York, Philly, Pittsburgh. Phillies win third consecutive NL East Division title. 1978, Major Indoor Soccer League grants 6 franchise to Cincinnati. 1978, the Phillies clinch the NL East title. 1979, the Brewers lose 5-0, ending 213 games without a shutout. Oh, wow. 1980, oh, God, this is sad. Only 1,754 fans turned to see the Phillies play the Mets at Shea Stadium. Oh, wow. That's sad. Only the Expos, I think, done worse. 1980, Rays outfielder Rickey Henderson sets AL stolen base record with his 97th as in the A's 5-1 win over Chicago White Sox, breaking Ty Cobb's record of 96 set back in 1915. 1981, the International Olympic Committee votes to award Seoul, South Korea, host of the 1988 Summer Games. 1984, Bowie Kuhn ends his career as Major League Baseball commissioner. I remember that. 1984, okay, 1984, yeah. Angels Mike Witt pitches a perfect game over Texas 1-0, and it duplicated the same thing over here. Okay. 1984, Don Mattingly wins the AL batting crown with a 3.43 average. Nice. I'm not touching that one. The 10-foot pole, that one there. 1988, the Soviet Union beats Yugoslavia 76-73 to win the men's basketball wins the men's basketball gold medal at the Seoul Olympics. U.S. finished the third time. U.S. finishes third. The final time a U.S. field had non-NBA players. 1989, Nolan Ryan's perfect game broke in the eighth, but gets his 300th strikeout. 1989, Toronto Blue Jays win the AL East title. Yuck. 1990, the Pirates win the NL East title. At 1997, Tim Raines, Derek Jeter, and Paul O'Neill are the first with 3 consecutive homers in the postseason as the Yankees beat the Indians 8-6. I remember. Okay. 2018 Yankees suffer a 10-2 drubbing over the Red Sox, but accumulate a major league record of 267 home runs for the season, surpassing the Mariners' mark of 264 in 1997. Okay, so Mike, do you think that the Liberty can take off Connecticut tomorrow and finish them off? All right, Roger. All right, Jimmy. Yeah, they are. Diane. Diane. Yes. All right. Steve, any thoughts? No, I meant WNBA, Steve. Mhm. All right. The West matchup is all set up, of course. So New York is going to face, if New York wins tomorrow, they'll face the Vegas Aces. But I hate to say it, they're going to have their work cut out for them because Vegas has been unstoppable this year. So got to be careful with that. And Breanna Stewart, yes, WMVP. Congratulations on that. Hopefully that she can, bring it home for us. All right, guys, this was an interesting show. I'm sorry for all the background noise or whatever happened here. Um, hopefully next week will be better than that. Next week we'll take a look at the division race for the MLB playoffs to get underway. We'll recap the Ryder Cup. Hopefully, we can come out of this and get a comeback win. I don't know. It's tough to say right now with such an insurmountable with the European players. But hey, we still got one more day to play it, so maybe something can happen out of that. I hope. And of course, we'll have our usual NFL and college football picks, and of course, our look at the monthly schedule and the standings for the final of the MLB and the NFL season for their first standings of the year. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Remember, we are also on YouTube. Go to Enhanced Sports. Go to YouTube and type in the Enhanced Sports Show. You'll see the shows in entirety as well. On that note, thanks for calling in and tuning in on YouTube. On that note, have a good week. Okay, Rasal, it's all yours. Good night.